Hello, CCH family, and welcome to another Heart to Home devotional. This battered and chipped door sold for $6,300 in an auction. This dog bowl once sold for $14,000. This Bible sold for $94,000. This chair once sold for $394,000. These more than gently worn shoes sold for $615,000. Now, we can argue that the contents of the Bible sold are priceless, but outside of that, these are flawed, ordinary items with no intrinsic value in and of themselves. But what made them significant enough to draw that kind of price tag was the fact that they once belonged to someone famous. The door was once attached to Paul McCartney's childhood home. The dog bowl once belonged to Joan Rivers' dog, Spike. The Bible once belonged to Elvis Presley. The chair was sat in by J.K. Rowling while writing the first two Harry Potter books. And lastly, the shoes were worn in-game by the greatest player to ever touch a basketball in Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. As Christians, we have a tendency to downplay our significance. We strive to be humble. Oftentimes when we receive compliments for our achievements, it feels uncomfortable, as if we're taking glory from God, knowing that anything that we accomplish that's considered good comes from Him. We acknowledge that we are chosen by God. However, it's not because there's anything special about us. And now all of these things are true. However, 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9 tells us there is something special about us. It reads, "But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, His own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of Him who called you out of darkness and into His marvelous light." And this word special can be translated as a purchased or acquired people. We as Christians are an acquired people, which is what gives us our value. We don't belong to God because we are special. We are special because we belong to God. So if you've trusted in Jesus Christ alone and His shed blood on the cross for your salvation, you are special because you belong to Him. He purchased you for the ultimate price. And so what do we do with that? The rest of verse 9 and verse 10 tell us what to do with that amazing truth. We proclaim the praises of Him who called us out of darkness as we were living a life of disobedience and called us into His marvelous light. Verse 10 reads, "Who once were not a people, but are now the people of God, who had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy." So we proclaim that at one point we carried the weight and the penalty of our sin and had not obtained mercy, but Jesus took that penalty to Himself and paid our fine with His life. And now we have obtained mercy. And that is what makes us special. Flawed, ordinary items with no intrinsic value in and of ourselves, but our owner happens to be the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings. I thank you for your time, and I'll see you down the road.